Ahoy hoy. Good morning. Sorry about the delay. Although we did start relatively close to time. I'm trying to figure out why this is not it's frozen. Oh, I'm frozen. Okay, hold on. Yeah, for some reason this is not showing up. There it is. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it. For some reason, it didn't show up the first time. I was seamless. The music ended. I had Grin walking away, and then I was going to put the gates of uh, hell, the path to the Night Lord up there. Or I can hear you over my music now. Good, good, good. No, I was muted. I was trying to get some last minute things going. I am working on my new setup right now, but not in its final place. It's actually all put together and stuff down in my brother in law's place. So I'm downstairs in a different spot with all the gear. So this is the first stream that I am testing it out, making sure everything works. Artie and I spent time putting everything together in OBS, having the link ups, everything working, stuff like that. Um, so it took a little bit of time, but we got there in the end. All right, I gotta make sure one thing. It's so far away. The plug for my phone fell, and it's very far. I hit my headphones, but we got it. We got it. We got it in the end. Good morning, Fancy. How are you? Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing good. I'm happy to see that the shout outs are working. I'm glad that you can also hear me. That's also a plus. That's a really good thing. I kind of did the same thing I did last time, but this time is way worse, I feel, because I had kind of I've been doing so much Elden Ring research and playing. I started that new character, some of you know about, with the lore. My level. I think he's level 24 now. Actually, I said 20 or 22, but when I went to look at him again to farm, I'm trying to buy out all of Patches' things. Finally got the Margus Shackle. So I'm trying to buy him out before he moves, and then I have to buy out some nomadic merchants. I think two of them before, well, not before, but I want to. I'm kind of playing this version of the game in my head with this character, like the headcanon I got. Um, so I spent an hour and change working on this character, which is I never do that. I never. I think the closest that came was like 40 something with Sir Runninhide for Lambo's Night Squad challenge, level 9 Vagabond Knights. Other than that, he came out pretty good. But other than that, I didn't, and I went in thinking a whole nother thing. I wasn't thinking, and this is where the whole art just becomes something else on its own. I I went in Yukon, Flamingo, Corpse Grin, they know about this idea. I've been kicking around in my head for a while. Like maybe soon after I beat the game when it came out, which is to make a SCP character from an SCP. I don't remember the number. It escapes me. I'll look it up. Um, but the SCP is called Daleport, and there's a character called Pangloss, and his face, like he's got a like a little bowler hat, and like he's dressed like in like 18th century clothes, but he has his face is just a triangle. Like it's just a triangle drawn on his like cut into his face. Like his face is like that's his face. Like that is his face. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. And I remember early on people were figuring out how to manipulate, the vast character creation with the face early on and making some just crazy awesome. I've seen some crazy awesome. I'm still struggling to get the mouth wide. Like I was trying to make this triangle, out of the eyes and everything, and it just. I figured out that I could move like my head skin forward, like my brow skin. And I like all of a sudden it just came to me. I was like, okay, so I'm making the Lord of Night right now. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to be the Lord of Night before Night Rain comes out. But I am excited about this character because I'm making this character an invading character, PvP character. And you know me, guys. I do not PvP. It's not my thing. I don't like it. Like, it's not that I don't like it. I didn't like it before. My first Souls game, again, recap about the captain. I remember when Demon Souls came out. And I remember when Dark Souls came out. But I wasn't in any position to experience those games. And I got my hands on a PS3 and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get Dark Souls. And then Dark Souls 2 was out. And again, never played. I hadn't played them. And oh my God, this is, oh, hold on. There we go. It's finally, the video is like barking at me. I hadn't played them. I bought them all. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, just because I was like, well, at some point I'm going to get the time to play them, right? And like almost a year went by and I hadn't, but what had happened was a friend of mine at work gifted me an Xbox. He's like, oh, my son, he's going away to school. He doesn't need this. You want it? And I was like, are you sure he's okay with this? I feel like if one of my parents gave away my video game, I would be devastated. I would be so, I don't think I'd ever forgive them. I would cry and be so upset. But I got this Xbox and I started playing Xbox and I started meeting people from a club I found, retro, my God, what is it? It's a retro club. Retro and underrated games. That's what it is. And it's a wonderful community. I love that club to death. It's fun. I'm so sorry. I'm constantly apologizing. I'm sorry I'm so absent. I don't get on Xbox a lot. I don't get to play video games that much anymore. I'm so busy right now. But when I get to, it's always a good time unless I'm playing something like Thumper or Call of Cthulhu. But so this character is the last silver tier, right? And the last silver tier like comes into existence. You know, it comes into existence. It's tapped into by grace, somehow gets in there and pulls it back. I don't know, maybe it was made. There's a lot of theories out there. I've been, again, researching, doing my little, playing and researching, seeing things for myself. Just looking at something in a video going, okay, I'm going to take my character. I have access to that. I'm going to go check it out. Stuff like that. Just to be there to see what they're talking about and go, oh, and then try to see how they made the connections, maybe make a few of my own, something they didn't touch on. Because a lot of these podcasts that I do are like, here's a list of things that I haven't heard anybody talk about. And now it's like there's this swirling going on where a lot of the things that I brought up in the last two podcasts are now coming up to the surface, and there's these little connections. There's still stuff that like people are like, whatever. And I've never looked at any of the games. My first one being Dark Souls 3, because on Xbox I got gifted it. I was playing with my friends and I was like getting swept up into like the whole craze of Miyazaki. Then I went back to play, I think I played Dark Souls 1, then 2, then Demon Souls, and I went back to 3 until Elden Ring came out. I hadn't played Bloodborne or Sekiro at that time. That wasn't until later. But that being said, being able to understand how the story style was prepared me for traveling backwards, as it were, in the storyline and playing the games kind of out of order, and then going into Elden Ring and then like seeing the connections with these fresh beaming young eyes, just be like dipped into the pool of this. Because when I play Dark Souls 3, I'm terrified all the time. I don't want to stop and look at shit because I'm scared all the time that something's going to eat my face. Every time. I recently played Dark Souls 3 with a few friends, and I had to figure out where I left off. It's been so long since I played that file. And that game was basically an experiment for a skip that we had found out about years ago that we could do, where you jump, if you have enough health, you survive and you go this way and you bypass this and all that stuff. But then you get to the gates and you're like, oh, we can't get into the church. We have to go da-da-da. So, you get the doll, you go to Irisel, and that dog comes out. So we had to figure out the hijinks of summoning and all that stuff. Then we go down and we had this really crappy invader come in and just not be fun, But we made it through and eventually they were slain. But then I remembered while I was having this experience, which is why I brought this up, how I was before when I was first playing Dark Souls 3 and I was like an invader. Oh my God. That was the scariest part of the game to me, because I was like, someone as conniving and manipulative as a person can be, who's familiar with the surroundings, because a lot of the times in Dark Souls 3 you kind of, at least for me, I use the environment to my advantage, and like this person knows the layout. It's like how unadvantageous is this scenario right now? Like, and the person you're with may or may not know. Marshall, what is up? Hello. Mwah, happy Saturday. I have A stuff. I don't have the stuff or the other stuff. I have A stuff. I will drink it. Thank you. Ahoy. Ahoy, matey. What is poppin'? I hope you are well on this fine Saturday. It's Saturday for you, right? I think so. I think we have the same days. Do we share days? I'm drinking strawberry apple juice. That is a stuff I have. It's still sat yet? Yeah, it's still Saturday. Okay. How many hours of Saturday do you have left? I'm curious. I love how. Oh my God. I want to say something, but I don't want to start like ruckus. But certain things explain certain things that people are in denial about, like time. Time is an illusion. Yeah, but it gets darker here before it gets darker there. What does that mean? The sun is flickering on and off. I don't know. Oh my God. It's 10:40 p.m. right now. Okay. Not too much longer, but I hope you had a good Saturday. The Saturday that you had prior to mine, because it is 11:40 a.m. here. So I have a lot more Saturday to go. And apparently I'm going out tonight. I didn't know this until I woke up this morning. So yay. Much to do. But it's spring here, so everyone's like, oh, spring, we have to. And I'm like, oh, I just want to go back in my burrow and just hibernate a little bit more. I'm so tired from winter. So invaders, scary. Minds of people, scary. And I think that was the thing, is like not knowing was really the handicap. Like I still can't parry, but I can. So with this new character, the last silver tier, the destined to be the Night Lord of, bring the Nox back into blah 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 blah. Oh, save the day, bring the Lord of what's Ronnie's ending? I guess I have to go for Ronnie's ending, right? The Age of Stars. That's it. That's what it's called. Not the Lord of Night ending. Well, it technically is, but it's the Age of Stars. Have this go, and but like I'm limiting myself. Like I there are certain things in my head already that I know I'm not going to use. I am going to get them. I want to get everything in the game. I want to beat the game with this character. I don't know if I can do it at level 88, which is where I want to cap him off at, which I've been told I need to stay around plus 17, plus 7. So I've asked around, like I've done my thing. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of research for a lot of aspects, and I'm kind of like mad because I've been dealing with this big project at work for over a month. And yesterday I finally was able to do the final test. And then I ran into a problem because it wasn't the equipment and it wasn't my cable. I knew it wasn't my cable, but whatever. The test cable that was hooked up to the equipment was not correct. But it took 20 minutes and 4 guys, not including me, because I knew I was good. But you have to check these things before you send them to customers, or else they'll get upset if they don't work. So 20 minutes later, I say, because now there's a fifth man is coming over, and I'm like, can we just check the other side of this instead of focusing on this side? And my boss looks at me and starts smirking and goes, yeah, we can do that. And I'm like, good, because I want to get out of here. It's Friday. Like, I don't want to stand here and figure out why something is not working for one thing and everything else. Like, I didn't want to. I just, okay, is there a way to test this so we can just bypass this part? Because obviously there's something wrong with the test equipment. Like, so we did what I said, but it took, oh my God, 20 minutes of just them going, well, this, I don't understand. Well, that shouldn't be. I'm like, oh, I could do something else. Stop doing the same thing over and over again. It's not working that way. Hello, Fresh. What is up? Happy Saturday. Having our little Elden Ring podcast time. Glad you can make it. I hope you had a good week. And I hope, because I know it's super early for you. Like, Marshall is almost the end of his Saturday. But for you, you're behind me. So you're even earlier than me right now. So I hope you had a good rest, because you've had a busy week, sir. Busy week. But I was happy to be able to catch your streams. They're always good. We always have fun. Thank you for the shout. Yeah, no problem. Oh, look. Do we want the best viewers, guys? Do we want that? Do we want the best viewers? I don't know if we want that. Oh, no, we don't want that. We already have it. Why would we need more? You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, Fresh. Yes, dodge them. Dodge them. So getting to the point where the other day, like being comfortable enough to, because again, it's more of an experience for me than a video game, but like going to, I've made this character stay in Limgrave. I haven't even been to Weeping. I'm kind of playing this character region locked because I feel like Miyazaki and Co. put everything I would need to fight the toughest boss. And I say boss because it's a boss, but it's also like a noob killer and the parry practice master. You know, that Crucible Knight in Stormhill, Everjail. That guy, I have a +3 sword. I have a 100% beast shield, you know, physical negation, and I went in there to just practice parrying. I mean, I'm trying to beat him, and I spent like an hour and 20 minutes. It was like 8 minutes after midnight, and I was like, I need to go to sleep. But there were parts where I was frustrated, but more with myself. Like, at no point where the only times that I would like be like, what the fuck, Crucible Knight, is like when he hit me with some fucking off the wall hit from his sword, or like he tracked me with his shield. Like, I rolled out of the way just in time, but I still got hit, you know, stuff like that. But like most of the frustration came from me just not having the patience to wait for my opportunities, instead of rolling and panicking, jump when he slams down his foot and the spikes come up. That way you can come down and get the next parry if he doesn't back up. Like, so, and I watched videos. And then it dawned on me, it's like, this is what I didn't do playing Dark Souls 3. I just got swept away with the current of like, okay, cool, we have a new person into the fold. One of us. I play the game from the beginning. Summon us. We'll come. We'll show you the ropes and da da da. And it was like, I liked it. What I didn't like is the frustration. I didn't like people being frustrated at me because I didn't know how to react to things that they have had practice with since like Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2. Like, it's like, even Bloodborne, like I had the same experience, which is why I haven't played it in all this time, is because I was like, it's a video game, number one, but it's also an experience, and it's one that should be had with other people, not to take away solo. Like, people can't, I even wanted to see what it was going to be like the solo Night Rain when the network test came out, because I played it right before I got sick on my birthday. Like, it came out the weekend of my birthday. My birthday was February 17th. It came out February 14th on Valentine's Day, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to have the weekend. I got the network test. Yeah, I know people who got it too. I got friends on both PS4 and Xbox that are playing. PS4, they had their problem, whatever, but I played with Grin at 5 a.m. or 6. So I was in his chat at 5, hanging out. 6 a.m. we went to play, and then we played and played. I played the whole time, and then I went. But I took the day off, and I already had my birthday off. So I was like, good. And then the next day I played, and then at the last session, I had an hour left, and I just felt so. My throat, my face, I couldn't like keep my eyes open. I was like, I gotta go lay down. I don't feel good. And then that turns into a nightmare of sick. What's up, Echo? Mwah, happy Saturday. How are you today? Oh boy, what happened here? Buttons. I'm not used to being able to use buttons that work. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole new experience. I'm on a new setup, man. On the new setup. And it's it was a little bit of chaos this morning, but it's working. Knock on wood. Smooth. Smooth. Only the best from the Shadow Realm. That's right. That is right. So in comes, like trying to play the games again and not knowing enough. Not knowing the things. Even though you're experiencing them, it becomes like, some people have said, oh, it's such a chore to go back and run through this. It's like, well, it wouldn't be a chore if you were having fun. Chores aren't fun. The word chore doesn't even sound fun. Like, it's, you hear it, you're like, ugh. Like, it's not, but when you're doing chores with friends, it becomes a fucking hangout. Paint parties, you have a pizza, and you're like, okay, we're all painting and talking shit and listening to music and catch it. It doesn't become work anymore. It just becomes fun, hanging out. It's the same concept. And again, I was mad at myself, bringing myself back to that, because I had narrowed down a lot of the points that I was going to address. And I have also a list written out of all the people's videos, all the people who've taken time to make videos that are really well done. So that takes even longer time. My videos aren't well done, and they're just there. Here, look at this thing in your face. Blah, blah. But they take the time to do them, and they have pictures. I don't have pictures set up now. I would love to have had all these pictures that I have been taking and making notes on to show you guys. But you know what? I don't have that. I just have my words, and you have your imagination. And we're going to see how far that takes us today before I have to clock out of this shit and then go start getting ready for whatever. Oh, a nap. I need a nap before I go out. There's no way. I've been up since 6:20. And that's late for me. You guys know I get up at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was so nice to sleep in. And I was like, can I go back to sleep? Is my body going to allow me to do this? And then I got my answer real quick. And that was a no. So I got up and like, okay, I got to do stuff. I got to make dinner. I got to go over my notes. Da, da, da. And then I'm like, oh my God, I left my notes in my book at work because I was fucking fine tuning my notes at work. And I was so mad because I can see them in my drawer at work right now, and I'm like, oh, that is not good. Nice, we like smooth things. Yes, we do. We are a big fan of smooth here aboard Ship Lost. Um, but going back and having Elden Ring, the experience I had with Elden Ring, the very first time, first day it dropped, how things weren't working, how you couldn't summon your friends, and just like exploring that world. I never feel all the time in danger or fear. Like I have the know-how and the prowess and you know the past ancient past knowledge from the other games to know how to navigate. And so this brings me back to our current picture here, which is for the new game Night Rain that comes out May 30th. I did not take the day off for that. Unfortunately, I have like very little time to spare after a whole plethora of things occurred this year that ate up most of my PTO. And sick time, like when I got sick for my birthday. But I'm going to play in the morning. I'm going to fire it up probably about, I don't know, 4 a.m. I'm just going to fire it up and then play. Whoever's on, if anybody's on. I know a lot of people are going to be playing at midnight. They're going to be, because it's a lot of people I know personally have taken Friday off because they're like, oh, Night Rain's coming out. I need, and I can't. But I work 7:30 to 7 a.m. to 3:30. So I'm home at 4, get the dog done, have my little safety meeting at 4:20, and then I am on it for the rest of the weekend probably. But I also have to work on the I have a few things to do. There's a lot to do today and tomorrow because I have to work on the script for the Twin Peaks podcast, which is next weekend, so there's a lot of things going on. But there's also fine tuning a few last minute backups, making sure I have everything from the people who I'm backing up files for and my own files, which I did complete my files. I just have to make sure I have everything. Double, triple check last minute before, because May 19th, it's done. After that, it's over. So things that you don't want lost, you grab them. A lot of people are like, yeah, and then like they give an extension and people are like, oh, maybe I should get them. I got a month, So now there's been a lot of through traffic downloads on Twitch. And it is, I should have been more attentive to it. There are other files that I don't even have dates for. I can say when they were downloaded and I'd have to use that date. But I don't know if that's accurate or not. So they're just going to be, sometime in this, if I was lucky enough to say the date, like today, May 17, 2025 in the recording, then that helps a lot, and I try to make a habit of doing it, but like, I don't always remember, especially with the podcast, especially when I have a guest on, or my co-host. We're too busy testing out shit and goofing off. So remembering to say, oh, hi, welcome, thank you for joining us on this day at this time, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't always happen. But that being said, getting back to this. So when I play Elden Ring, especially with a new character who I'm intending finally to be a PvP character. I have two. I have one that is going to be a friendly PvP, and I tell people that and they go, oh, that's blasphemy, right? I get it. And then there are other people who are like, yeah, they're always a surprise. I like the idea of being a pleasant surprise. I like the idea of coming in and going, hey, and dropping a few runes and then like bouncing. or showing someone the path, because I've died so many times in areas where I'm like, don't go there, don't, that's a trap, and I don't want it to be misconstrued as like I'm leading you, like you have to follow me or you're going to die. But that's a lot of responsibility. So I just kind of want to be someone who comes in, waves, drops some runes, and then like leaves. You know what I mean? Like, there are going to be times where that doesn't work. That right there won't work. And then someone will be like, I'm going to kill you. And then I'll have to fight, But my original intention is not going to be, I'm in here to destroy you and ruin your day. And maybe you're trying to get your runes. What do I care? I can't see them, It's more of like, I want them to know that I'm not a threat unless they make me a threat. So my name for this character is going to be real to the point that I'm not a threat. Because it could seem like deception. I'm not gonna say what the name is, but it's perfect for what I want to do, and you will all see it. I haven't figured out if I want to make this character on Xbox, but the thing is, funny enough, all my Xbox slots are full with this last character, the last silver tier. So what I want to do is take 2 characters that I had for test runs. And I want to have them just mule over their stuff and then delete the files and then give them to, another player, whether it's this guy. And again, this character is like playing region locked damn near. Like, that's how it seems to me. I'm not saying I'm playing region locked so people can come and see me suffer. But like, I have to beat the Crucible Knight and Agheel in order to progress to Stormvale past. I want to leave Stormvale Castle for last, so I want to make sure I have all the tombs, all that stuff. But the way that I have seen and the way I have played this game prior, I've never taken that approach. I've always done, Limgrave, and then like went down to Weeping, Castlemorn, kill everything, get the Night Rider and the Nightbird, which I think I may have forgotten to kill that with Trashy and the level 9 Vagabond Knight run before we took out Leonin Misbegotten. And if that is the case, then I'm fucked, because that's gonna be a hard fight for me by myself, because I won't be able to summon. But it might work. Hello, Cook. Mwah. There he is. Happy Saturday. I hope you're not working too hard, but I know that you're definitely working. If you're not working, it's a miracle. It would be a miracle. It would be a miracle. That would be a miracle. Because I know how you are. You're like me. Don't get me started on fucking work. I know, dude. It's everywhere. So with this character, I'm trying to see things in the way that the path laid out in the base game and the DLC, which, again, disclaimer, I haven't beaten it yet. I've gotten far, and I've figured out a few things here and there, but most of the information I have from the DLC is watching other people and then watching videos. So I've seen all of the DLC. I just haven't experienced it for myself, and that's fine. For me, it's not a spoilery thing, because I first and foremost want the lore. The experience comes after, and it's still gratifying. Plus, there's still things I haven't seen in the game, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that part, and I purposely not. But I've heard reference to them. I've talked at length with people who are like, yeah, in this part, blah 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 blah, and if you do this and you do that, that'll happen. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting, and I'll make a note. And then it's like, because again, for me, my experience is going to be experiencing it, but if I want to get this itch of the picture scratched, I need to forego worrying about fucking spoilers. Da, 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 da. I'm just checking here. Let's see. Okay. Um. So that being said, spoilers. Uh. But there are a lot of I've been more invested in the base game because of Miyazaki's interview, the statement that he made twice about how there's still something hidden in the base game, and it's lore related. It is a lore thing that people haven't the connection hasn't been brought to light for him to go, they see it. And we won't know, I don't think, if anyone, all these content creators that have been going in and doing amazing work and amazing art in diving into this story that is told mainly through item description and architecture. Like when it boils down to it, you're walking around in a broken world, and there's so many different ways to interpret that, and I love that. But the way I'm approaching it is like, I was meant to be here, just like the Tarnished were meant to come back, but not all of them. Like as you go throughout the game, you realize that the Tarnished, not all of them can even fulfill what they were meant to do back here because they can't see grace, or if they decided, fuck it, I'm not playing this game, and they were hunted down by confessors, or other assassins. Like who? Like I keep thinking, like, well, the confessors are no longer, they're no longer a thing, even though we have a confessor character we can play. They're from outside the lands between who have come back, and we know there's churches outside the lands between because they say it. So this is not mystery. I'm not saying anything. There's no speculation here. The thing is that the only assassins that we know in game that are walking around, I don't want to say active, but walking around, are the Raven Mounts and the Black Knife Assassins. And they look completely different, but they have similar things. But the Raven Mounts are death right bird, the death bird. They worship the death birds, and the Raven Mounts also, they dress like them, like they emulate them. When we have the grave ones with the green that you find in the DLC, that's all about the grave. What are they? Grave Lord birds, whatever the fuck, the stone birds. And they're all supposed to be emulating these death birds, but they have like black feathers. This one has like green and black. Like there are color variations of things, and there's something I just literally just learned about because I finished watching a video that threw me for a loop, because it that whole thing about death and blah 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 with these birds and the tint of green comes up with the weapons for the Godskin nobles, that their weapon. So apparently in the Japanese version it was left a mystery. It had a hidden color because it's been tarnished over time. But in the English version, they say it's a sort of green. I forget it starts with a C. It's a name of a green color. And I was like, oh. And then it comes into play the green armor that we get in the DLC from I love his character. I can't remember his fucking name, but I love his character with the fucking pest brood, and they have that, what is it? Verdigris metal that it's been tarnished over time, and it's like in the past it has something to do with the rotting of the metal. And I'm like, okay, so we have some green now. Before it was just red, black, purple, yellow, blue, and now like green, aside from stamina and poison, it has this other, attachment to it. And I kept looking around and going, okay, what does this mean? Especially walking around with this new character focused on night stuff, because again, I'm going to be using night sorceries from Celia. I'm going to be using certain sorceries but they're going to be from Caria instead of the academy. And I have to see how I feel about that. The way that my headcanon, the lore for this game. Hello, One Punch Guy. What's up? Good morning. Is this still morning? No, it's afternoon. Good afternoon. It might be morning for you. We'll just stick with morning. We'll just stick with morning. We're chilling. We're chilling. How are you? How is your Saturday? Talking Elden Ring stuff. Oh, somebody called me. Who could that have been? Scam, most likely. Oh, thanks, Dan. I love my hat. The captain on the bridge. Oh my god. That is amazing. Thank you, thank you. It's going well. Morning somewhere. Yeah, it's morning somewhere, right? Yeah, it's got to be. It's morning where Fresh is. Wherever Fresh is, 3 hours away. It's morning there still. So we'll just go with that. We'll just keep saying good morning. It's fine. Even when it's like 3 o'clock, we'll just say good morning. So with the idea that this character I'm playing, trying to make the Lord, because for me personally, I'm not. There's so much about the Newman and the Nox and the shaman and all that happy horse shit that like there's these gaping holes in the story, and trying to make it cohesive. There's a lot of events. That's the thing. It's like when you make things happen over thousands of years, there are so many events that can be interpreted in many different ways depending on who's telling the story. And how we get our information dictates who tells the story. So if there's certain things in the game that you can tell, like, oh, this is slander, like, oh, this was written by someone who was like a bigot or you know, prejudice against this thing or that type of person or whatever. And then there are the ones where you're like, okay, this is real. Like there's this whole big thing that I've been kicking around in my head, and I've just seen like 3 videos that are really backing up my headcanon for why I feel personally like I don't like Ronnie. I feel bad for her, but I don't like her. I could feel bad for somebody and not like them. Like the way things play out, especially with her quest, which is what I'm going to be doing with this character, it's almost as if it's telling us 2 stories at the same time, but they're like not so much mirrors, but like there's like continuity errors in what she says. Like she says things that make you, if you just listen to her, make you think about what she's actually saying. So like she doesn't, when you first meet her, she puts Kale and Kale's donkey to sleep and asks you, oh, are you the one riding on Torrent? And I said no. And she's like, don't trifle with me. You know, this is not a game. You know, this is no joke. Are you the one? And I said no again. And she's like, all right, stubborn. Okay. But it's probably not a bad thing. You know, you can't trust everybody here. And instead of handing us the bell, she, you know, in the spirit ashes, she tosses them on the ground. Like that is a line right there where that she's drawn a line. She's like, okay, so you understand to be weary just like all should. She tells you that you should be weary of others. No one is a friend to you here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, wow. And it doesn't matter who your character is that she says this to. So it leads me to be like, okay, she's honing in on what's going on. There's stipulation that the tarnish returning hasn't happened in a long time, especially when you get to the round table hold and you talk to people, especially Sir Gideon. And when I went there and I spoke to, and I haven't been to the round table with this character because I haven't beaten Margit, I haven't beaten Godfrey, Godric. So I can't go. But playing this character and running around and looking at the landscape and understanding like how far away Limgrave is from Lindell and how it is considered the fringes. How if you take the map of the DLC and superimpose it into the whole that is in the base game on of the map, and how it fits and stuff like that. Everything south of a certain space is the fringes. Like, it's not like they didn't have seas. Like, they had to have some sort of like, okay, we have, ships and stuff. You see the ships broken all over the place. Like, this wasn't just like cut off. A lot of people will say, like, this is one of the other things that I said, I haven't heard anybody say this or talk about this, but I have heard before, because before the DLC, the beginning, and I said this in the other podcast, I said, it looks like where we wake up is inside the Ur tree, and then the light shines, and then we wake up in the chapel of anticipation right in front of the altar. And I always thought, yeah, that looks like the Ur tree, right? Like, so maybe, again, it's a cycle. It says it's the first thing you read with the mimic memory of grace. It's a cycle. Like, the Ouroboros is in the shadow of the Ur tree DLC title. Like, it's telling you, like, this keeps happening over and 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 over. We have proof of this with Bernal and what's his name? Vike. Oh my god, I love Vike. Vike is my hero. Vike is on the cover. Like, and to the point where people are like, yeah, this has happened before, so much so that they know how close they got. Like, they have rankings of which tarnish got closest, and it's kind of like a race. Like, oh, can you beat my best time? Can you speed run this? Could you speed run to the Elden Ring? It's literally how far can you go until you win. But what do you win? You have a choice of 6 different winnings that they're all not great. Like, the game is telling me that the damage has been done so far that there's no way back. You can't go home again. Like, that's it. Like, the theme of that is in Stormvale a lot, incessantly. It's everywhere. You can't go home again. You get towards the end of the game. What do you find? Spoiler, you find Geraint, aka Malekith, in a time distorted place that will never I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Everyone remembers Fair Missoula crumbling. It's been crumbling so long, they don't remember it not crumbling. There's no record, there's no painting, no image, no sculpture, no tablet that shows what it looked like before this happened, right? Okay. In science, and this is the blatancy I'm talking about, in science, if you look at a black hole, right, mathematically, the way the math works is that if you cross the event horizon, it will appear as if you are crossing it forever. You do not disappear. You disappear. But everyone looking sees you just slowly red shifting away, like stuck, frozen in a moment in time. Now, whatever a lot of people's like, oh, the sleep magic because of the dragon priestess and the DLC, she has him in sleep. Okay, but if people can't die anyway, anything, if things can't die anyway that are in the Erd Tree and the dragons somehow got hooked up into that. Now, what was it, the ancient dragons or was it the drakes? Because that changes things. It changes how it works. The whole point of the battle, we don't know why. I have a lot of guesses as to why Placidusax and Baal fought, but Baal is like, he's crucibled out, and he, in alchemy, you have the philosopher's stone, whatever, but the alchemists, they believe that the pure color of gold, the real color of gold, the true color of gold is red. That's the true color of gold, and manipulating it will cause gold. It'll cause, like, look again, bringing up science, the sun and the moon. The moon is reflecting the sun's light off of its face, and then it bounces to us, right? Okay, so it illuminates, not a lot, but it has illumination. The reflection has illumination. So it's not really copying the sun. You're not getting warm. It's not warm light. You're not feeling that. You're feeling just whatever the temperature is, and you're seeing the moonlight. And if the moon is not full, guess what? Less fucking light. It's not hard, right? So getting back to Fair Missoula and this, what I feel is Fair Missoula is stuck in a black hole, in a vortex, because of whatever the hell happened. It says, oh, a meteorite came and hit it. All right. Okay. That's the only piece of information we know about the damage to Fair Missoula. And I have to go back on what I said. Not go back on what I said, but I have to address something I said the last time, which was, I don't think Fair Missoula is a city. So there are items in the game that say it's an ancient city, but it also says Fair Missoula is a mausoleum. So I'm guessing with all the chunks that have fallen down all over the place and the sheer size of them, and I'm sure there's pieces that are just, they went in the water or whatever. I'm guessing that this impact or explosion, whatever, the black hole that just went and just like ripped Fair Missoula apart because it was in proximity of a black hole that just appeared. Who makes black holes in Elden Ring? So it's fucking broken up and it's swirling around in a circle. Have a good one. Be safe out there. It's swirling around in a circle constantly. So, like, when I first went to Fair Missoula, I thought it was strange that these structures were so still, because it is literally rotating around this storm. Hey, what's up, Raiders? Hello. Welcome in. Hello, Artie. What is poppin'? I'm testing out the new stuff. We're doing the new stuff. It gets supported, nerd. Why isn't this working? There we go. I didn't hit enter hard enough. Hello. I'm getting supported. Thank you. Aw, thank you, Echo. I appreciate it. Welcome in. I'm Captain Exit. I was doing a little Elden Ring podcast before Night Rain comes out, talking about thoughts, ideas, a lot of the things I've noticed that a lot of people haven't talked about, some things that I have very, 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 very been flushed out by now. Yeah, it's all good. Get the stream rust out. I know. I'm downstairs at Dan's. Dan just left. Tech Guru Dan is out and about doing his some gearing of his own today. But yeah, I figured, okay, what better opportunity than now to test out and see if everything's working right. So bad. I'm terrible. I never do it. Word, I figure you didn't move all that stuff upstairs. No. I was gonna move like some things, but no. Just a few. I was like, if you're not gonna be here, can I just stream down here and have the podcast and test it out? So I've been down here for I got down here 9 something. And then started testing stuff out at 10 o'clock. I've been up since 6:22, 22, yeah. Something like that. And now we're just talking the stuff. I did not get to stop at Walgreens to get anything. That's the one thing I didn't get to do was do one thing on VLC, which is take the titles off of the videos so you can't see them. The titles, the file names. And Dan's like, oh, yeah, that's easy. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about it. Totally forgot. So when it plays again, when I have a BRB, and I take a little breather from talking, I got a video of videos of Grin, Corpse Grin, playing PvP in Elden Ring, along with CthulhuSeeker's lovely arrangement of some amazing Elden Ring music. That's very, yeah, don't even know where this emo came from. Just click on it. I can't click it. Wait, can I click it? Hold on. Serenades channel. There you go. Mystery solved. Goated Green, Dumb Souls. Mwah, hello. We will play. Oh my God, I was just talking about you 2 days ago. We are going to play again. I was editing that video where you were trying to help me. You were trying to come into my game, and I didn't know that I had some funky shit setting in Elden Ring that I didn't know about. And then we fixed it. I'm like, oh God, he's gone. Fuck. Hi. How are you? I hope you're having a good, is it still Saturday? Maybe it's still Saturday. I don't know. He lives all the way over there, you know? Oh. This fucking shit. Sometimes my keyboard doesn't feel when I push enter. I'm trying not to be rough with it, but I think I need to push it a little harder. Oh, I remember. Yeah. It's Saturday still for you? Okay. Good. It's 12:25 here. Are you going to be playing Night Rain? I want to know if you're playing it. I will be playing Night Rain. Early in the morning before work, at 4 a.m. And then when I come back home. More than likely, yeah. And you will have to message me in Discord because my life has changed a lot and I like to talk about it. You got it. Here. I think see if you're in my Discord, hit me a DM because I don't remember the last time I talked to you on there. Have we ever talked on Discord? I have no idea. I do not know. I know I need to have a drink and a puff of my safety quill. But I will take a break probably in a little bit, like probably at 1. Throw the loop back on, put on some music, go get something from the store across the street to drink, and then I will return. I really just want some tea. I want some cold raspberry tea. That's really what I want. That's the only thing I want. But I might get a Hostess cupcake. I really want some chocolate. I haven't had chocolate all week. That's a record. That's a record. Yeah. So, all that shit being said, because I don't remember what I was talking about, but that's fine. I've literally just region locked my new character because I feel like everything there. Oh, we were talking about Farrah Missoula, and we were talking about this guy. Okay, so at some point I'll have to get better at parrying, and I did get better. It's just I have to be patient with myself. That's the lesson there. It's not so much about get good, scrub. It's more about you have to learn patience, grasshopper. and I only have patience for things I'm excited about. Am I excited about fighting this guy? No. But I want to feel what it's going to be like to win. And that's out trumping the fact that I don't want, like, I'm not excited about it. It'd be different if I'm excited to fight. You know what I'm excited to fight? I'm excited to fight Aghio because the first time I fought that dragon was with a friend of mine, and it took us 40 minutes because it was severely aggressive, and we found it by accident, and we couldn't get on our horses because we were like, we need to escape, and Aghio tracked us almost the entire lake. I was like, dude, we can't get out. We hid under where that crab comes out, that fucking crab. We had to kill the crab just to hide. It was an ordeal. I really wish I had that footage. Oh my God, it was such an ordeal. But we did it, and it was like, oh my God, we won. You know, like the same thing. It's like when the game came out, when Elden Ring first came out and co-op wasn't working, me and my friend found Siofra elevator at the same time, and we were on the headsets, but we weren't in each other's game. And I'm like, I just found this elevator. He goes, me too, in the woods, right? I was like, yeah, it's round, right? He goes, yeah. And we're sitting there talking, and it's still going down, and we're like, dude, this elevator ride is fucking forever. Like, what is happening here? And it's the game going, okay, we got to make all the things now. And then you get down there, and you're like, all right. And I there's the Carbot cartoon, the Carbot Animations cartoon, which their second to last episode comes out today, so I will be plugging in a few things in the chat beforehand. One of them is going to be, again, oh, okay, no. So it decided to take it away. Oh, because I did Discord. Oh my gracious. Oh no. 5,000 things are happening. So sorry. So Cabana Man Cam forgot something very important. I'll have to deal with that later. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But he did forget. Let me get back here to where the magic is. Uh-oh. ¿Qué pasó? No. Oh my God. Please stop it. Okay, wait a minute. Literally, my phone said, no, you cannot have access to your Twitch right now. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Or Twitch just decided, yo, peace out for like 5 seconds, and it just went off my phone. So like, while I was in it, it just disappeared. Thanks, Twitch. Thank you. 5,000 things. Oh my God. So that's me, and you? How's everybody doing? Okay, there it is. Got it. I had this on my hotbar, but it again, whenever the app closes, it's no longer there. And it just decided, nope, nope, you cannot have it. All right, got it. We're back now. Okay, so all right, go check them out if you haven't already. They are fantastic. Oh, there goes the wire to my charger. They are fantastic. They arrange music, video games, movies. They do a really good job. There's a few other shout outs I need to do. Especially to Grin, Corpse Grin, for allowing me to use the footage that we had at the beginning of stream while I was trying to make sure everything wasn't gonna, explode. But yeah, so big thing. I'm gonna touch on the Famrazula, get back to my guy, and then I'm gonna talk about the big thing. Then we will do a BRB, have a brief intermission, and you'll get to see Grin in action. And listen to some of CthulhuSeeker's fucking phenomenal music. As a matter of fact, let me. Okay. Oh, hello. Someone gave me a free something. Thank you. I am always down with the free something. Now, this is the weird thing about Twitch on the phone sometimes. Like, I want to go play something, and I can't because it's not letting me. Cuz I want to put a link to a channel, and sometimes it just doesn't let me do it. And sometimes it does. Like, I just did the link from YouTube, no problem, but ever since I did the update for the mobile, it's been garbage-rino, man. Like, really bad. So, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do that. It's just gonna be easier to do this. Okay, so now, see what I mean? So the app now is like, oh, you want to see this when you open the app? No, I I don't want to see that. I want to go back to where I was. Oh my god. So here we go. Here's Grin. Most of you in here already follow him. It's fine. But that is who has so graciously allowed us to use his PvP footage for our podcast today. So yeah. Anyway, shout outs aside. Famrazula. Mausoleum. Housing the Dragon Lord. All right. So it is said. Okay. Who said it? We don't know. What strikes me as is interesting always, and this is going back to like some of Shalier's time travel theory with Mikola. We from what we know, Placidusax was the Elden Lord, therefore there had to be a god, and a lot of people are of the mind that Queen Marika was the Glowmine Queen. They're the only two queens we hear about in the entire fucking game, except for Queen Renala. But that's carrying royalty. We know where she comes from. We know, like, the background, the history. They laid her stuff all out on purpose to make sure you didn't get them confused and you didn't tie him to Marika or the Glowmine Queen. Made sure that they were two separate things. The thing that they didn't do is separate Queen Marika and the Glowmine Queen. That they didn't. The only thing that kind of separates them is the fact that it's said that Malekith defeats the Glowmine Queen on behalf of America. So, like, he's sent to go stop her with his god-slaying sword because she put the rune of death into it, plucked out the power. So that's another thing. People were like, well, that had to happen after he defeated her. And I'm like, no, I think it'd be a lot easier if you took the rune of death out of the Elden Ring. And then when they went to fight, her power was diminished. So were all of the Godskin apostles and the nobles. That makes more sense. Black, what's up? You forgot about this, queen? You fucking hilarious. Happy Saturday, Black. How are you doing? I did forget about that queen. Black is also another queen in Elden Ring. Black, you playing Night Rain? What's good? What's good with that? What's good with that? Ooh, you was playing Resident Evil Biohazard. That 7, that game it was a lot of fun to watch. I will not play it. We had this discussion already, but I did enjoy watching it. It was a lot of fun. So I see this like vagueness about who this queen was, where was her kingdom, again, she's the Glowmite queen. What if, and again, this is speculation because we have all these holes. What if she was the queen of the sun, even though she represents death? It's weird, right? It's like kind of weird, like the sun realm with the dragons and everything. They have the sun. It's the sun, right? They're all about the sun. Look at Caelid. Caelid is like sun up. That's how, when the sun rises. I've looked at the sky many, many times, and yeah, there could be an argument of sundown, but it does not look like that to me. It looks exactly opposite. Most definitely will be getting Night Rain. Gonna make my pre-order next week. Yeah, I have a few things to do today. I was gonna get it Wednesday, but I ran into a little bit of a snag. Ship loss is under soon to be under some construction. We're getting new gutters installed, everything new. They're ripping out the old ones. They're going all the way around the house. I have a huge house. Cook knows. It's huge. So, and when they had quoted me before, it was less expensive than it is coming out to be now. It's like twice as much. So I can't let it go on any longer. And at the time they quoted me, I didn't have that money. Now I'm like, well, I've been saving my pennies, He gave me a quote and I was like, oh my God, that's over the pennies that I saved, but it's not that much over. However, I was going to try to kill two birds with one stone and do the gutters and the fence. And now it's looking like it's going to be the gutters. And then the fence is going to have to come a little later this year. Maybe like end of August, early September, when things cool. I don't want to work on my fence. And I'm doing it. Me and a few other people are doing the fence. And I do not want to be doing that shit hot. It gets hot, man. Right, Artie? It gets hot. It gets hot. So, Fair Missoula has always been one of those things that's like there isn't so much the language there. It's more of depiction. It's more art. The beastmen that they were sculptors and smiths. Again, smithing came from the giants, but the beastmen make their stuff. They fire their jar shields, they fire their wares, they temper stuff, and then they break them. And I always thought that was fascinating. They break the jars for the sole purpose of making shields. And I'm like, jars are to protect things, from, or house things, keep things. And I looked, I said, well, none of the jars, because I was like, maybe there's a hole in the jar shield somewhere I didn't notice, and that could be like housing a spirit, like the ancient ancestral followers do, and like they do in Ra and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, it's not it. Something else. We're missing something key. And then I keep going back to the statue, in the boss arena, and like the twin birds. It's like everything. The sun realm has, for the sun realm to represent the sun and the power of the sun and the life giving of the sun, it has a lot of death things. It's got two Godskin nobles, for Christ's sake. That duo, fuck them. It has the depiction of the twin birds, like. And the crazy thing is, and this is another thing that not too many people have even brought up in their talks about this topic, are the fucking storm birds that are there right before you fight that fucked up ancient dragon at half health that may or may not disappear depending on what, blah, blah, blah. So I hate that fucking dragon. That dragon followed me through 3 different games. Hold on a second. I think my dog is howling. I could just be. Okay, no. That's definitely just the wind, but it sounds like howling. I need. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Got it. I have to charge this. This guy has to get charged. Okay, so I forgot about my wire that fell. So we have that room. We have Malekith's boss room, which looks like a temple within the temple of the mausoleum. Like if it was a city where the dragons lived, and they just kept building more of it with their bodies when they died. That to me makes sense. Like, they turn to stone. They have bodies of stone, but when they die, they perish. Their body will stay where it's left, and it is stone. It's not organic material, it's stone. So they would just die, go put them in a pillar. They're dying. Okay, we're going to put it in a pillar, whatever, and then like build more of our mausoleum in the sky. But it seemed like at first that this was just like this is what we do with the dead. This is to honor them, and this is to continue to protect our Lord with a living rock. It's like, well, either they're alive when they're protecting their Lord, or they're dead when they're protecting their Lord. But it's still a wall of rock, no matter how you cut the cake. So that line has always been like, It's said that they did this, but how? What was the pretext for it? And it looks to me that Fair Missoula is like the holding place where, because it's at the center of the storm, it is literally being crushed because of whatever the event is that was there. But somehow Placidusax is able to go into stasis outside of regular time because of the scales of Placidusax. Like, the power that Placidusax holds somehow keeps them where they are in stasis, trying to commune. It's like It's almost as if it's in lieu of being able to hold your hands to the sides, like when they're giving the up in reverence or prayer, trying to convey, because prestigious Sax has their arms together, holding on to their body because they were wounded so grievously by Bale. They're using their two heads that are surviving from this attack to commune with the greater will, who is not answering back because there's been a severance. Scum Mage Infa came out with a very, 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 I've been waiting for this video, a very, very good video on how this is all tied together, even though, again, he addresses like, these will fit here, here, and here. This might not fit here, but there are two leading theories. These both work because XYZ. Like, that's all fine. But if there was an attack simultaneous, like at Fair Missoula and wherever Maytier was, maybe Maytier was at Fair Missoula, maybe not. Maybe, like Scum Mage is theorizing, where Maytier was at Stormvale, and that's what's caused all the damage with her fucking laser beam shit and all that. Again, a lot of the damage to her has resulted in the finger creepers. She doesn't birth two fingers anymore. And the theory is that two fingers that Ronnie slays is the one that was removed from her with the oh my god, the Ring Slayer blade. And how we already know that it's said to hurt the greater will and his vassals. How else would you know? I mean, that's the one thing did it. But to whom? And why? Well, big reason, like, the sun realm versus the realm of night. That seems a little too easy to... That's black and white for me. A lot of it makes sense if there was a cause. You don't just go to battle because it's your natural thing. Like, we're dark, so we're going to battle the light. Like, there's the constant struggle. But why is there a struggle? It seems like in the lands between life and death, between shadow and light, between, hot and cold, had that balance. That now is separated. That now is like, the fact that no one can die. So, like, how people are saying, yeah, the memory of grace, it looks like a sunset. The sunset that leads you to the next world when you pass away. That's the memory of what happened. That is what you start the game with. The memory of your death. The memory of you going to, but instead of going to where you're supposed to go, you're tarnished. You have to come here. And not only that, but everyone has to go there. But not the lands between. That's only reserved for the tarnished and the descendants of the lands between that are still there after all the bullshit that happened. The tarnished are the other ones that can return. No one else can come here. Where do they go? The realm of shadow. All manner of the suppressing pillar says it. It says it as you can't make it any clearer. Hold on a second. Like, I think it's my dog howling, but it sounds like the wind because it's windy. I can't tell. Every time I stop to listen to it. But like, so when you die and you're not tarnished, but you're in the lands between, what happens? Well, if you are of the Erd Tree culture and you're a part of the golden lineage and all that stuff, man, I can't tell if that's him or not. It sounds really loud. Sorry, that's just me howling. Oh, is it you? Thanks, Black. Ease my suspense. Oh Oh, it is him howling. Oh my God, Bismarck. He's having a fit because he knows I'm down here. Um, it's okay. I'm gonna let him on the terrace on our little break, um, and chill him out a little bit. But everyone, everyone who's supposed to pass on to the next thing has been cut off. It's broken. Not only is it cut off that you can't go, it's broken. The afterlives have been disjointed and broken. You can't get there. You wind up in the shadow realm, or those who live in death, like your body is inhabited by whatever, the vengeful spirits. Like, you, if you can't go to the Erd Tree to be recycled into runes, basically you're destroyed. That, yes, that is your end, and your essence is used to bring the new. Then what happens to all those who are dead that are not in there, that are not a part of the Erd Tree faith, that are not full of runes? They're outside of that cycle that the Erd Tree, the only one now, because America and all the things that happen are that because of what Ronnie did with Godwin, whether he was willing to, whether he didn't know, whether he was, I mean, what's her name? You know, his fucking wet nurse says, oh, he was a martyr for death and death. Like, there, it seems to be like, if you put someone who's a part of the Erd Tree infected with a part of the rune of death, it would bring it back into the tree and it would be part of the cycle. Although that didn't happen the way I think was designed, if that theory is to be believed. So that whole thing about where they go, the tarnished don't die. They don't get to do that. They get to just keep coming back. And they're stuck now in the lands between. They are no longer able to move past that. They can't go to the previous life. They can't go to wherever they were, whoever and whatever they were before that. They carry it with them here, finding out that they're descendants from a people that were kicked out of paradise after they helped build paradise in order to experience, live, fight, die, and then be reborn back into paradise, cleansed from all the shit you did in the battle. Like, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like her selling point was like, now that we done did all this foul shit to get here, y'all need to go and continue on your path, and when you die, though, you'll be back here where it's nice and pretty and pristine and the sun shines all the time. And like, doesn't that sound like heaven? Like the pit, like what heaven's like? I've never seen heaven at night. Have you ever fucking seen a depiction of heaven at night? No, it's always clouds and cherubs and harps and sun and bright and bright and bright and bright. And that is what I think happened. I mean, look at the time. If you have to get like fucking cryptic with the whole biblical shit, like, look at the fucking warriors, the warriors of Godfrey, the crucible, the closest to the source, as angels that were cast out after they did all of this shit to everybody, helped her do all this shit, fight all the different kinds of creatures in the realm of the dead to secure it for herself, and then said, okay, now you guys get to go out and venture to life, to see what life is like. And then when you're dead, you come back here, and then we'll be here and you'll be in paradise forever. Very deep thoughts here. Almost makes me think of shower thoughts. I love shower thoughts, dude. Love them. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, every time I look at this and I go, what? It's not so much that's a seduction and betrayal. That could be a great many things. It's very vague, but a lot of people have kind of narrowed it down for themselves, and that's great. It's really, what was the promise? What what could she have promised all of these people that are fighting for her? It's kind of like Joan of Arc. Like, they all believed that God was speaking to her. And she's like, well, God's telling me we got to kill all them people over there. Let's go. And they do. And then God says, we're going to go kill these people because they don't believe us. They're going to stand in our way and not let us practice. Oh, okay. Well, if they're going to be like that, we got to eliminate them. Boom. It kind of brings me back to that whole in Dark Souls 2 where Vendrick goes to war with the giants across the fucking sea. Hello, hint, hint. The giants are there. Their faces look like the spirit fucking holes that we see all over the place. In well, not just in the base game, but a lot in Shadow of the Erdtree. They go to fight the giants because she says they're a threat. And he goes, well, we can't have that. And they go and have that war and are successful. And they are the closest source to the power. In Vendrick's case, he's a king. She's, we know who, Cassandra, whatever the fuck that Sashandra, that bitch, we know she's not a regular person. So she's like, yeah, strength. Yeah. Speaking of spirit holes, I need to stuff mine. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that in 3 minutes. Not hungry, but I got to get a drink and I got to check on my howling dog. But thank you, Black, for reminding me I have a stomach and stopping in. I feel like it's just been there. It's always been there for me, but it's just been there in the face. Like the lands between, the lands betwixt, all these things occurred outside of what reality is perceived to be. And in Elden Ring, it is so blatant. Going back to the original thing I said, where originally I thought where we wake up was inside the Erdtree because we were coming back. But then we end up in the Chapel of Anticipation. And I thought, that's weird. Why would we just appear in front of this altar? And there's no, you know how you invade another world, or you're blue, or you're a cooperator and you come through the spiral. I mean, look at the Elden Stars. It's right in the Elden Stars incantation in the base game. The spiral is right there. We come up in a vortex of the current, the crucible current. So that doesn't happen. That does not happen when we wake up in the temple of the temple. And Nassandra's convincing and conniving ass. Yes, her, that Nassandra, that bitch. Oh, that bitch. We don't come out of a swirl of light. We don't come out as a, and again, it's our world. So this is our destined afterlife, dictated to by Marika. She's the one that caused this to occur. It didn't matter how we died. Normally we guess, like, oh, if you live a foul life, you're going to go to hell, or you're going to go here, or if you do noble things, you go here. You have to have good deeds so you could get here. The whole idea is to get there, the promised afterlife. But you can't do that if someone has hijacked the afterlife. And that's exactly what I feel Marika did. She hijacked the afterlife. I'm a part of that. I know there are two big sides. Marika is the Glowmite Queen, and the Glowmite Queen is an aspect of that she removed that part, or changed the rule of what she governed. Right? Okay. Then there's Melina, who is her daughter. It's her daughter, guys. it's her daughter. Or if Melina and Mesmer are supposed to be the daughters of the Glowmite Queen, it's still her. It's still her daughter. Or she's the Glowmite Queen. But again, I'm of the same mind of people who say it's not it's a title. There have been Glowmite Queens, like there have been golden-eyed queens. All right, let's say it's a golden-eyed queen. You hear they're working on an Elden movie. Oh my God. Black, I don't even want to talk about it. I am not okay with that at all whatsoever. 110% not on board with that right now. Like, I'm down with the fan films that they're making. There are a few that, like, especially the one with Mikola and Melania, previous to what happens to them. They're amazing. I love the fan stuff. I don't think having a Hollywood like trajectory for something that is so open to interpretation, unless you're specific about it being open to interpretation. So for instance, like Night Rain, they came out and flat out said Night Rain is a parallel timeline to Elden Ring. It's parallel. It is. What if? It's a what if. Night Rain is a what if. Now, the director, who has worked with Miyazaki for years, says in his in his interview, everything in Night Rain happened the same as in Elden Ring, and then the shattering happens in both, and there's a divergence. Timeline in Elden Ring goes in a certain direction, and in Night Rain, it goes in another completely different direction. Maybe not completely different, but it definitely, the paths diverge. Let's go. The two branches are split out in different directions, right? So this is why the lore for Night Rain is going to be specific for Night Rain, but it's going to spill into the lore of Elden Ring based upon the fact that they have a shared history prior to the shattering. That is the best part. It better to be a 2-part movie with how massive the lore is. I just don't think it's gonna be. I just don't. I just. It's. There's so much left for interpretation that to make a definitive film is like. Again, unless it's like, this is my interpretation of Elden Ring. Like a disclaimer in the fucking title. Make that the title. Then people like me, who are of the mind of like, I don't want to see anything like this, will go see it. So like, that whole mindset that I have, that's my headcanon for this. Is like the ruler, the power of the balance of nature was disrupted for whatever reason by America. She didn't want to be, if she was a Glowmite queen, she didn't want to be that no more. She wanted to kill the god that dictated that this is what she was, because again, we know her history. She was a shaman. Did she succumb to experimentation by the Hornshead, or was she picked by the Empyrean, picked by the fingers as an Empyrean, therefore not touched, not put into jail, not, you know, in the whipping hut, not made to the specific ritual, a specific way. Because again, and it threw me back to the when I was making my character, the whole Draconians. Like, Draconians. So there are dragon people. There are people with stone skin. There are people with stone skin. There are Newman, said to be descendants from people from another world. Okay. I kept going back to the whole another world. Like, oh, you mean the world before whatever cataclysm caused the lands between to get fucked up and the divine towers to be all fucked up on one side? Like, what was that what they meant? I mean, all the stone coffins, not all of them made it. I mean, they only show 3 of them. Maybe, again, like Noah, he made one ship. There were other people who built fucking arcs, not to the scale that he did and not with the purpose, but I'm sure people built other structures that didn't make it in the Great Flood. So you have 3 depicted on the steles, but we see a shit ton of them embedded in rock, can't open, can't get out, everybody inside dead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm logically trying to deduce how we got from A to Z in the storyline without even filling in all the gaps, because it's a story. You have to make the story. You have to experience it. You have to live it. You have to, every time you play the game, every time I play the game, I find out new shit every time. You have a different experience. It's never going to be the same. It's not that kind of game. Let's see. There's supposed to be a Bloodborne movie in production as well. Oh my god, I can't. I can't. All right. Now that we've touched on that, and I got the shout outs and the plugs in, we're gonna take a brief. It's 107. I'm gonna take a brief. I'm gonna check on my dog. It really sounds like wind. I have a feeling I'm gonna go upstairs and he's gonna be like, "What's up?" I just have that feeling. All right. So let me make sure I don't screw this up. We're going to do a little BRB. I'm going to put this on a loop. If I can remember how to do this. There we go. That's how you do it. Again, I'm on my brand new setup, so I'm like, "Oh, how do I navigate things?" It's not as janky. It's like so smooth. I get scared. it's I get scared. All right, let's see. There it is. All right. Now this guy. And now I have to. Here's the experiment part. This is where we're gonna have our fun. This is where we're gonna see the stuff. Okay, got it. All right. All right, BRB people.